My name is Susan Christner, and I'm a third grade math and science teacher at Sun City Elementary in Bossier Parish. I'm very blessed to teach here in this community. I love my school and my colleagues and just all of my students. So I've just always known I wanted to be a teacher, and I'm fulfilling my dream. So I'm very honored to be chosen as Sun City Teacher of the Year. I love teaching math and science. Science is very hands-on, so the students are actually able to get involved in the lessons, and it's a lot of fun. Today's objective in my lesson is I want the students to be able to prove that changing the environment can influence an organism's traits. I've designed this lesson so the students will be active and moving around. They won't just be seated at their desk the entire time. So in science, I'd love to bring in real things for the kids to see instead of just videos and pictures. So I was able to borrow a turtle from a friend of mine and let the students just observe it and look at its traits. Then the students will look at a picture of a turtle that's had its shell damaged by pollution, and they will have to try to figure out what's happened to it. This part of the lesson is where we have lots of questioning. The students are asking questions, and so they can go and research and find the answers. This is also a part of the lesson where I'm able to clear up any misconceptions that they may have about traits. We've been studying this topic for the last 3 weeks, so they already have a knowledge base on where inherited traits come from. So now we're moving into how the environment can affect growth and survival of any organism. Next, the students will complete a Think, Pair, Share activity where they will be given a card with a trait, and they'll have to decide whether the trait is inherited or environmental. They will move to a location of the room based on what them and their partner decide. We will discuss it, and then we will move into another activity that explains deeper the effect of the environment on organisms. Students will read an article about a little brown bat and an issue it's having with population due to disease. Students will evaluate data and then plot the data out into a line graph and look at the trend and make some inferences based on the information. I really like these sorts of lessons because they bring in cross-curricular activities like math. This will also help them evaluate the cause and effect relationship. The last part of the lesson goes back to the beginning where we looked at the turtle and the impact of humans on the environment. The students will create an advertisement where they examine the cause of human impact on the environment and how that affects organisms. So in this part of the lesson, they're given a choice in exactly what they want to do. Some students choose art and some students choose making a video. They can choose to write about it if they want to write a persuasive paragraph. I really like bringing in differentiation into the lessons, and anytime you give students choice in their lessons, they're more invested in their learning. At the end of the lesson, students will be given an exit ticket. I'll ask them to apply what they've learned to a different animal we have not talked about, and they'll have to give me 2 environmental factors that affect their traits. This is used as a formative assessment tool, so I can see if they really understand what they've learned today or if I need to go back and add to that. I really love getting to know my students on a personal level. That's probably one of my most favorite things about being a teacher, just learning everything I can about them. So even though I have students with IEPs and 504s, I have very high expectations for all of them, no matter their ability level. Here at Sun City, we have students of all different socioeconomic and cultural backgrounds, so I always take that into consideration when I plan my lessons. So when I reflect back over how the lesson went, I think there are some things I could have added in to make it better. Time is always a factor, so it's really hard to get everything packed in to the minutes that we have throughout the day. I would like to be able to build in some research time where the students can spend time exploring on their own and then come back to the class and share what they've learned. The cross-cutting concept in this lesson was all about cause and effect, and I would have liked to maybe talk about that a little more and just zero in on that skill instead of passively talking about that. I also would have liked to give them time to add more questions to our driving question board for this unit. So we start out this unit with an anchor phenomenon video where the students will watch a video and then we'll just talk about what that makes them wonder about. And as we progress through the unit, we answer some of those questions and we add more questions to it. So I really feel like we could have added some questions based on environmental factors today. I feel like the lesson objective was met. Most of the students really were able to grasp how environmental factors change how organisms grow and survive. I know this through just my informal observations through teaching the lesson and then reflecting back on those exit tickets that they filled out. Some of the students really got into it when they picked their animal and explained how different things could change them. Some students still need a little bit more work, which is why I give a formative exit ticket at the end of the lesson so I can still see which students need some more support in that area. We will continue working on this for the next week, and that way I can provide those students with what they need.